Welcome to Adventure Freaks, a podcast on living abroad on a budget.
Okay, Petter, Eryk Nyvoll is my guest
Yeah.
today, and Petter, I have to do this, but good morning, Vietnam.
Good morning.
It's not. I think it's 9 a.m. there, correct?
Yeah, that's true. It's not.
Yeah, so it's 9 p.m. here on the east coast of the state. So I have Petter, Eryk Nyvoll, and Petter is originally from Norway, and he lives in Hoi An, Vietnam. And Vietnam is this incredibly beautiful country, um, and I've always wanted to travel to it. And I love the Vietnamese cuisine. We eat a lot of Vietnamese cuisine, and we eat it weekly. So my son's favorite food is pho soup, and it's probably my top three as well.
Wow.
So, man, I thank you so much for being here today, Petter. I appreciate it for participating in the podcast. So, how you doing out there?
I'm doing good. It's a rain season now, so today it's raining, but still we have great weather. And yeah, I'm looking at the beach behind me from where I'm sitting now, or standing. So yeah, I'm good. It's a beautiful place, and I get more and more in love with Hoi An. I moved there for 4 years ago, and it was more like maybe a 1 year project or 1.5 year project. But we are like me and my girlfriend and our two kids are more like we all like to live there. I talked with some friends yesterday, and Sunday. I mean Sunday. They are living here, and like everyone's saying, like this is one of the best places in the world to live. Like yeah, under the pandemic, it was nice. So yeah, we are happy here. I really enjoyed to live here in Hoi An, and the life is good.
Yeah, Petter. When they talk like that, what makes it one of the best places in your opinion, and what do the people say about it? What makes it one of the best?
So from my perspective, and I also think the other one living here, there is a small community in Hoi An. We are just half an hour from my international airport. There is no pollution here, so it's more like a countryside place. And I don't think there is so many places around the world where you can just use 30 minutes to our international airport. There is no queue. There is like small airport, so we can travel to rest of the world, and still this feeling about we are there. We have almost everything we need around us. There is nothing we're missing, but we still are in a countryside. I think and also just if we want to fly to Saigon, it's 1 hour, and then we are in a big city. If we want to fly to Hanoi, it's a big city. So we have like I like big cities, but just living here and and of course I not live so many other places in the world, but the community here, the expats community, the level of I will say the level of people living here is so high. It's like they are really interesting people, and they, as me as an entrepreneur, there is so much more entrepreneurship here, and so it's like it's interesting people. You don't meet this, so to say, you don't meet these boring people who don't have anything in life, and are just some part. I'm maybe joking a little bit now, but some people are just running away from something when they move to another country. But it's not
Sure.
like I don't feel like that's the place here. So it's a combination, and of course the weather. We have maybe 2.5 months with cold weather per year, and cold. And it's like I'm not good in Fahrenheit, but it's 18 degrees Celsius is what we get down to. Is that
Yeah.
in Fahrenheit? Yeah. So it's a good. Yeah, I think that's and you said it. Food. There is like amazing food in Hoi An. We have everything. We have everything from sushi to Asian, a lot of Asian food, and we also have international cuisine. There is like, of course, because of the French colonized thing in Vietnam, there is a lot of French, beautiful, great restaurant. We have the American cuisine, and there is like so one of my friends that a guy I met there was also Norwegian. He had lived here for 19 years, and he was back in Norway for like 3 years ago, and he was like had a summer holiday in Norway, and it's like, oh, the food in Norway is so boring, but there is like it's high quality and everything. So it's like, yeah, I say it's one of the perfect spots to live. I think it's a lot of benefits here. So
Yeah. So take us through your journey. So you are originally from Norway, which is an absolutely beautiful country, and I know many people that would love to go travel there. I've talked to people that would love to live there. And so, how did you choose? How did you decide? I think it's fascinating when people come from these beautiful destinations in the world, such as yourself, and then you say, "Hey, I'm going to go check someplace else out, a different destination, and go live." So, how did you make that journey to Vietnam? What was behind that decision?
So a long story short, I think I was like 22, 23. I don't remember how old I was, but it was like for many years ago. I wake up one morning and I had a dream, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm born in the wrong country. It's like, I get this, I need to figure this out. Maybe I'm born in the wrong country, maybe I should not be born in Europe. Maybe I should be from US or South America or Africa or Asia. I got like this, I need to figure this out. And I've been an entrepreneur, so I had some companies, was running in Norway, and the opportunity to live abroad never come up. But then I was working with personal development and international speakers. I had a lot of speakers from Canada, US coming to Norway and Europe, and it was promoting them. And this company grew really fast, a little bit too fast. So we went bankrupt in 2015, and I had 10 people in the company there. And to be honest, I've never performed well in a job when I need to go to the office every day. I perform well when I can sit on an airport, on a coffee bar, on a restaurant, or just moving around, like seeing new things, like sitting on the beach. I'm a sales guy, so I mean, my biggest deals have been maybe sitting on a beach or something like that. And this I've been since I was young. Mm-hmm. So it's not like happening because the world have been some. I did this as soon as I got the internet and I could sit another place to work. I did that. So when we went bankrupt, I was talking with Maria, my girlfriend, and we went to Cabarete in Caribbean, Dominican Republic, and we had a speaker there from Canada. He lived there, and we was working from a beach for 3 weeks time, and we come home to Norway. This was around Easter time, so we come home to Norway. It was still cold, and I was thinking every day, oh, can't live in Norway anymore. I can't do it. I need to find another place. And then Maria, she has two. So what was going on in my head? But I have this problem. I have a girlfriend with 2 kids, and the father is living there. So there was like split. The father was 50%, and she had them 50%, or we had them 50%. So there was like some obstacles in the way to really present this idea for her. But after a week, she come to me and saying, "Eryk, we can't live in Norway anymore." I'm like, wow. I didn't expect it from you. So that was the first sign. And then the father of the kids moved to Slovenia. So we got 100% to take care of them. And the reason Vietnam, we want to go kite surf summer in 2017. We were going to go kite surf a place because we started with kite surfing. And we want to figure out a place where it was wind in the summertime. And we figured out there was a place in Vietnam called Mui Ne, and it was cheap to fly tickets from Norway at that time. So we took with the kids and Maria, and we flew down here. But right, I think it was 2-3 weeks before, I was on this journey to figure out where could we settle down with the kids and us and find an international school. So I was searching Asia, I was searching Caribbean all over, and then I find a place called Hoi An. And that was where, it's not where we was planning to go on holiday, but there was an international school there. And we just decided to go in Hoi An 5 days to just go to the school, check out the kids, check out the environment. And I felt like when I was coming here, it was like something like, wow, this is an amazing place. So we was there 5 days, but to be honest, I didn't want to leave. I just want to stay here. And then the kids say, okay, if you really need to leave Norway, I want to go to this school. It was an amazing, cool school. So that was, and we just decided, okay, let's try it out. So it was more like, let's go there. And if we figure out the worst thing that can happen, that no one of us like it, the kids doesn't like it, they will miss Norway, and we need to go back. But we just need to try it out. And we also had this 1 year perspective, because there is someone, I think there is some psychologists that are finding out if you're going to live in another country, it takes 8 months before your mind understand that you're living there. Before that, you just think you're on a long holiday. So we decided, okay, let's give it 1.5 years and we see how it goes. And yeah, and we're still here, and that's almost 4 years ago now. It was December 2017. So we're still here and happy. So that was the story.
Wow, nice. That's fantastic. So you guys just went on vacation, and you were looking for some destination to do kite surfing, and you fell in love, and then you went back there like 4 years ago and just decided to live there. Did you choose Hoi An as the first city to live in?
Yeah, it was there. So we come here and we have lived here, and we are not moved from here.
Nice, very nice. So did you tell us about the real estate there? Are you renting or did you buy?
Renting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard for foreigner. You need to have a Vietnamese partner to buy real estate here, and of course that's risky. And also the real estate prices is quite high here, so
Okay.
it's better to rent. So we are renting here. Yeah, but of course the price now I gone a little bit down, but it's still. Everyone thinks it's really cheap to buy things in Vietnam, but the real estate market is crazy high. So I think like the house we are living in, it's more like two to 2.5 million US dollar house, 2 to 2.5. Yeah. So it's not. So if you look at how much we pay in rent in front of what the value is, it's much more economic to rent, and also this high risk of having a Vietnamese home together. So we are just renting now. And also I have this, it's good to have a house, but when we are on this journey, we never know how long time will be. I just feel like if we buy something, we just get one more thing to take care of, instead of having this freedom we have now, where if we figure out we want to move to another country, again, we can just do it. So it's a kind of freedom thing. Yeah.
Sure. Doesn't lock you down. What can you get an apartment or a flat for over there, or a house? I mean, what are the rents going for?
Yeah, you can get a house on. Again, I'm not good with feet, so it will be in square meter, but you can get a 40-50 square meter small house, a small apartment for maybe like $150 to $200. Yeah, and right now it's super cheap to rent. And you can get a house, a nice house with swimming pool. Right now it was more expensive before COVID, of course, because every border are closed now. But right now I think you can get something for 500 US dollar, 500 to 600. So yeah, and we have a big house on 400 square meter with a big swimming pool, 6 bedrooms, sea view, and we pay like around $2,000 per month. But it's still so.
But you're living large. That's a large home.
Yeah, it's super large. Yeah, it's like we have our office home also, so we have one floor with our student office, because we do a lot of live sessions. So yeah, so we have a super big house.
Yeah. So does that, most of the rents, do they include utilities as well?
Yeah, I think so. we have brought some of our own stuff, but yeah, both the houses we are into, this is the second house we are where. So both have utilities. So normally they are equipment utilities. We don't need to buy stuff by ourselves, but of course we can do it, get it your own way.
Do you pay? I mean, do you pay for an electric bill and water and
Yeah.
Wi-Fi and all that?
So yeah, a lot of houses have Wi-Fi included. We are in a little bit special situation because we are so we need to have Wi-Fi, so we have bought a bigger package because it's our business to work online. But normally there is included and water is also, but water is nothing. It's like doesn't cost anything. Electric bill comes on the top, and that is what everything need to pay, but it's still not expensive. I think like, of course, it depends on life quality. We have a high life quality, but if you just want to stay on low normal quality, you can easily live for $1,000 per month if you're not like a big spender. Yeah. But I think like one of the things like for us who are a family, but so for us, because in Norway education is for free, so we need to pay for education. Yeah, so if you look at the expenses we have in Vietnam and compare it with Norway, I don't think it's cheaper for us to live here, but we have a much higher life quality. So we have a chef that works for us, and it's like, and manpower in Vietnam is super cheap, and we have a housekeeper, and like so we have a couple of people, 2-3 people working for us, and if we should have that in Norway, we need to 10 times our income based on that. So for us, it's more like higher life quality to live here, and we can focus on what we like to do. Yeah. I love to make food, and it's not that. And in Norway, I make dinner almost every day. Yeah. But it's like, but there's other things that I love even more than making food. So it's like, so when someone can make food for me and make amazing food every day, it's like, yeah, it's better. So I think like, yeah, this. And of course, there's many places in Asia you can get, or maybe also other, of course, in South America and also Africa, where you can get the same thing with having manpower to work for you and do stuff. But it's still having all this concept with nice people, having the manpower, have a nice beach, having great food, all these things together. I think it's quite unique and special here in Norway.
Yeah. And are you near the beach? Can you walk to the beach or?
Yeah, I see the beach from where I'm standing now. So I don't know if you see it now because it's quite not so nice weather, but can you see it there?
Yeah. Oh,
so
okay. Nice. Very nice, man. So you got the nice layout there, the nice pad. Does that place come with a pool too?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, nice. What is like cell phones cost? What is the wireless plans cost in Vietnam?
Oh, that's super cheap. I use Wi-Fi all the time with 4G, and I think I maybe fill up my account every second month, and I pay like 500,000 dong with around, what will that be? $30.
$30?
So $30, and then I can use Wi-Fi or I can use 4G all day in and out for 2 months. So $20 a month or something. Mm-hmm. It's I don't know how the price in the US, but you compare it to Norway, it's like I can't compare it because there is always a limit on how much I can use of that traffic every month, but I can use.
Yeah. How do people get around there? I mean, you see the scooters and things like that, where people move around, and Ho Chi Minh or Saigon. What do you guys? How do you get around as far as transportation?
Yeah, we use scooters. We use scooters and bicycle. It's small distances there, but and if we are going to travel alone, we rent a driver with a car, and that's also cheap. But I've seen over the 4 years I'm living here, it gets more and more cars there, so more and more people buy cars. But it's huge how different it is just over the 4 last year. When we come here, we didn't almost see or was much fewer cars in Hoi An, but now it's more regular that we see all families get cars. But still, I think I love to ride. It's freedom for me to ride a scooter. Me and Maria, we just love to ride scooters. It's just sitting on. It's more freedom than riding a car. So we use scooters, and also bicycling is also nice. But yeah. And then that's also, if we also go to Saigon or Hanoi, we sometimes rent a scooter or a motorbike, or we use taxis with motorbikes instead of scooters, instead of cars. It's quite exotic, or it's fun to do. Of course, it depends on how scared you are for traffic, but I like to just be in the middle of this craziness in the traffic in Vietnam and be on a scooter. It's kind of interesting, and interesting to do.
Petter, you're a wild man. That's why you enjoy that stuff.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I do that.
What are you guys doing for healthcare over there? And what's the cost of healthcare?
So we have an insurance, like an expat insurance, and I think we pay for all the family around $1,000 per month for all 4 of us. But to go to a doctor and go to the hospital, it's so cheap. So to be honest, we don't fill out the insurance paper when we go there, because we feel it's more so dentists and doctors and all these things is so compared to US and Norway, it's like crazy. So I guess it's 1/10 of the price if I compare it to Norway. So I can go to the doctor and get some medicines and get everything for like pay like $20, $15, $20, and there's no queue. I just go in there and get it fixed. So the same with dentists, is so cheap, and I also feel the quality of the dentist there is really good. So I feel safer. Many of us are scared to do this in these Asian countries, but I feel really safe, and they take really good care of me.
Yeah. So, and would you say the healthcare is pretty good over there in Vietnam?
I think it depends on where you go, but we have never had any problem with it. I hear a lot of people are afraid or don't know how it's with healthcare, but we have had, and we don't have any problem. I think like maybe it's better healthcare all over in the US if you look at it, but it's not like, it's nothing that stops you from moving here because you're afraid that they cannot take care of you. They will do that, and they have
Yeah, if you had like see things in the US, there are many people that file for bankruptcy every day because their medical bills or something catastrophic happens and they have to go get an operation and they're $100,000, $200,000 in debt in America. So I'm always curious to know, like, if something were to happen, if you had a stroke, or do you have any idea what something like that would cost if you were in a hospital for intensive care for like a week or 2 weeks? Do you have any idea what the cost would be for something like that, or?
No, but I will guess if it's, I think you can divide it by 10. I don't know the exact number, but at least you can divide it by 10. So if it's 200,000, it will be maximum 20,000 here. That's my guess about it. So based on what other things we have been doing.
All right, cool. So let's talk food. I mean, like, so if you go out to dinner and you eat at your typical Vietnamese restaurant, what are you going to pay for a meal? What are you going to pay for a bowl of pho soup?
Pho is maybe, you can get pho for 50,000, which like $2.
$2, yeah. Okay.
$2, yeah. $1.50 to $2, I think. Yeah.
Nice. So it sounds like it's pretty cheap to feed the family.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and that's also why as I said, we have a chef, but also before we have a chef, we almost never made food home because it's so cheap to go out to restaurants. So it's you can go out there, and there's many of our friends also, even with a budget on $1,000 per month with living and thing, you can go out and eat every day with nice, good food. And as I said, the quality of the food is really high in Vietnam. There's great food, and there's and of course everything is fresh vegetables. You get like it's yeah, everything is fresh when you get it. The meat is also fresh. It's normally come fresh the day. So yeah, everything is like coming. Yeah. So yeah, that's unique for us at least, and maybe it's a little bit warmer places in US, but in Norway, every vegetables we get, like, of course there is some vegetables in Norway, but a lot of it's imported from other countries. But there is like, if we buy tomatoes, they're fresh from that day. If you buy a cucumber, it's fresh for that day. So it's really, I think health, you can get more healthy in these countries. Of course, it depends on yourself. Alcohol is also cheap, so of course you can be attracted by, or not wine and things like that, because that's coming from Europe, but beer and other things is super cheap. So of course you can also go that direction. We are not gone that. There's many were saying like, in moving to Asia, you always everyone get addicted to alcohol because it's so cheap, but we don't have that. And it's like, as I said, it's the environment you are coming into. It's the community you're coming into, and there is not like people are drinking, but it's not like a drinking community that everyone drinks all the time here.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your experience living within the Vietnamese culture. So you're a Norwegian man living in Vietnam. What is that like? I mean, and what is how has it changed you? I mean, when you first got there and you arrived, you have to immerse yourself into a completely different culture than the European culture. What is that like, and what has that experience been like for you?
So I think this is, I will answer for myself, and I think this is also based on what kind of personality you have. Because if you are used of a lot of security, and if like the first thing when you come here and you see, like you said, talking about the motorbike or the scooters, you see this traffic thing, and there is, when you come from, or when I come from Norway, where it's really strict that you follow the traffic rules and all this thing, and coming here, and it's like opposite of what you're used for. But so in the start, you're like, oh my God, how can they make this, or how will this work? But they have a system in the traffic, so you just need to get used of it. And I think it's quite interesting to follow it. So coming down here, for me, coming from a country where Norway is like, it's rich, everything is in place and all this thing, but I feel sometimes it's more bureaucratic and too many rules. So it's kind of less rules there in a way, and that fits me. For others, that's scary, you know. And of course, there is a communist country. So I'm in a podcast, please. So when you come into there, it's just like different, but it's still, yeah. I think, like as I said, it depends on personality. If you're really security driven, maybe Vietnam is not the right country for you. And another thing is, like, of course, because it is a communist country, we have this thing with COVID. When that hit, we see that the people are following the government, the rules and all those things, and that will never happen in Norway. There is always, I think it's also in the US, there's many who are against what happened with COVID and are demonstrating and all this thing. Here is just, we follow what the government are saying. So before we saw COVID hitting, we didn't see that side of it. We heard about it, but for us, like foreigner, we didn't see it. But when it hit in, it's like all this restriction and all these things. So it's interesting to see how a communist country operate when a crisis comes. You know, Vietnam, they looked at the first thing they said when COVID hit in China, they say like, this is a war. And Vietnam have been in some crazy wars before, and they also not won, but they have at least fighted really well in many wars. So they are used to being in wars. So also looking at how they did that was quite different from what we'll see, at least in Norway, but I think the same in the US. But all over, we don't see it in the daily life, except when the crisis hits. We don't understand that this is a communist country. Maybe we can see it a little bit in building and things like that. But so I think that communist and also less rules in a way, and then we are used of in maybe US and Europe, like what are allowed to do and not allowed to do.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, have you seen any odd occurrences happen with authorities and expats involved, or do they pretty much stay out of the way and leave you guys alone?
Stay away. There was like, and what can I say? This is so what happened for like 6 months ago or something? They thrown out a lot of foreigner based having just tourist visa, because there was like, you can always renew a tourist visa for 3 more months.
Yeah.
So they throw them out. So they did that. I think that's the only thing that. So someone been on tourist visa for many years, or have like maybe some not 100% legal visas that was thrown out from the country. And of course, that's sad for people who lived there for 20 years or 15 years and 10 years. But on the other side, they didn't have the real paper, and they could have fixed it. So we didn't have problems because we have papers in place and all this thing. But of course, things like that can happen. Things like if you don't have the papers in full and you're doing something like a little bit sketchy, you can be thrown out there.
Sure. Yeah.
But the rest, they're really, they also like tourists, and at least Western people, they are super happy with. And maybe they have some problems with Chinese, and they are not so happy with Chinese people here.
Oh, wow.
But I don't feel that there is anything else than just as I said, it's a freedom country, but also following the rules, or if things happen, there is always on another side. There is always a way to please the government there.
Yeah, sure. Well, I think it's I think that's a part of Asian culture too, where they're I lived in Korea for a while, and a few years back, and one of the things that I say, that I noticed when I lived in Seoul, and whenever you cross, those lines where you're crossing a street, and those lines that you got to stay within when you're crossing the street, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like in the US, people will, if they're crossing a street, they don't stay within those lines. Sometimes they'll cross on an angle, they go outside the lines. But I noticed that when Koreans crossed the street, they were staying within those lines. And there was this more of a it seemed like a more of a what's the word I'm looking for? It's disciplined and respect for law and rule than what we get and what we see in the U.S.
Yeah.
And I that was one of the things that stood out to me. But
Yeah.
but that, like, so there a lot of people, you're right, they do the tourist visas, they'll stay for 3 months, and they go out of the country, come back in. Do you have a different visa, and if you do, how did you get it?
So we have a temporary residence card. So we have a company. So if you start a company in Vietnam and bring some money in, and have an investment license, or you start a restaurant or something, you can get like temporary residence card, and that's something you can live with and have. So that's possible, of course, it's a little bit work, but then you are legal and you cannot be thrown out. I also think another thing, I just want to comment on what you say, because another thing is they're really respectful for their boss. So let's say you go to a restaurant and you ask for, I'm going to make a fun example now, but I think it is also happen. So you go to a restaurant and say, I want a burger without cheese. And they say, we don't have that. Yeah, but you have a burger, you can just leave the cheese. No, I can't do it. Why? No, because that's with cheese. Yeah, but can you just take it away? No, I can't do it. We don't have it in the menu. So right. It's like, so they are really respectful for, they're more respectful for, that's a kind of funny when you're in the restaurant business or hospitality, they are sometimes more respectful for a boss than serving a service. And I know, for example, US, you're maybe totally opposite. You're just like, we need to take care of the client and make service and make sure they feel. So of course, when you're not used to it, you're like, you can get pissed and angry on this person, but the person is just following on the order. That's and right, they are more like, we stick to the order.
Yeah. Hey, and as far as like a visa, how much does it cost to get one of those temporary residential visas or temporary resident visas?
So it doesn't cost so much, but you need to bring in amount of dollars to have to transfer. So I think it's and this is I can say a number now, but that can change every week. But I think it's right. You need to have an investment license, and I think you need to bring in like 20 or 30,000 US dollar to get a residence card, and you need to keep that in a company for an investment license. You can also, for example, it depends on the license you have. So we have an investment license. That means that we have the money inside Vietnam. You can also, for example, start a small business, and it's just like what is startup. So if you have a restaurant business, you don't need 20 to 30,000 in real cash, but you need to have a restaurant that are running. So for having it, I don't think that's so much. Maybe we pay like $1,000 US to get a 5-year residence card, so or something like that. So yeah. So yeah,
that's pretty cheap. That's pretty cheap. So, Petter, you're quite the dynamic guy. I mean, you obviously you've been an entrepreneur pretty much all your life. You're a CEO of this company called Awesm, AWESM, right?
Yeah.
AWESM is the CEO of that. You do sales and marketing training. You just did some big event, I think, right? This recently? Did you do it?
I did that.
And you speak in front of crowds, and you get people go. So tell us a little bit about what you do, and you're running a business in Vietnam, but tell us a little bit about how you got into what you do and what you're doing.
Yeah, so as I said in the start, we decided that we want to move to another country, and we want to start a business where we had a location-free business. And I have been working with sales since I was young. So what we started with, we was thinking like, what about to sell an online sales course? So I started to promoting that in Norway and sell it, and it works. Yeah, well, we started to get an income, and then my girlfriend, she's a copywriter, so she started to do a copywriting course. And as I said, we have been working with personal development for many years and have some of the big stars, personal development and business development speakers over. So we also had a huge follower because of that company that went bankrupt. We had a huge follower with coaches and consultants. So we also created an online course how to sell and market yourself like a coach. So all these things we did in 2017, and we also decided, because we want a location for business, we decided we just want to be two of us, just Maria and me, in the company. Because before we had more employees and more staff, and then we just like, we need the office and one thing. And we're quite ambitious. So after a year, we figured out we need some staff because we start to grow more. So when we moved to Vietnam, we got the first Vietnamese employee. We find her in Hoi An. Funny story, she's living in Norway now. not because of us, but she found a Norwegian boyfriend was visiting Vietnam on holiday, and she got twins for 2 weeks ago. So she's living in a small island in Norway, and we live here. So it's kind of fun story. And she,
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and then we moved away from doing sales training and copywriting, and we figured out that we want to teach more sales and marketing for coaches and consultants. So we start to create programs for them to make them succeed, to build online funnels using Facebook and YouTube ads and all this thing, and also do it for them. So step by step, we have built up the company from Vietnam, working remote. So now we have people in India working for us, people in Norway, in Sweden, in UK. There is someone. We have South Africa. We have Vietnam. So we have people from all over the world. So we have a remote company without any headquarter. We are working from home, but we don't have any office. So yeah, and we have 19 people working in the company now. So we built it up from Vietnam. After we moved there, we built it up from just us two to a 19 people company, and we are serving clients from most Europe. So we expanded from Norway and then Sweden, and then we started to do things in English. So step by step, we have grown it up. So and then it feels really right for us that we have a location-free business, that we can fly out and do whatever, and we can do our job from whatever place we are.
Yeah, Petter, that is impressive, man. That's really impressive what you built.
Thank you.
Who would be your typical client in Europe? Who is that?
Typical client will be, for example, if it could be a coach or a consultant that have been selling their services with going face to face and meet clients in their office, or being speakers and going to a office and want to turn it into more like an online business. So we help them create products that you can sell online. So you can do coaching online, you can create an online course, so we are basically teaching what we're doing by ourselves. We are teaching people how we succeeded, and we help others to do the same thing. And so we have also entrepreneurs that are or want to start like entrepreneurs, but basically our ideal clients is someone who have been entrepreneurs for many years but want more freedom in life, want to have what we have. Like it's not like they need to move to Vietnam, but maybe they want to be more in the cabin. Maybe they want more freedom to be with the kids. Maybe they're like this freedom that they don't need to go to an office every day or to a clients every day. That is our typical client.
Okay, so you're working a lot with people who are primarily looking to get away from the 9 to 5, finding freedom, work for themselves. So there's a lot of people, and I notice a lot of like digital nomads and a lot of young people getting into coaching, and they're trying to put information out in regards to life coaching, mindful meditation. There's yoga all over the place. Do you help those types of people?
Yeah, I will say that our typical client is more like from the 40 to 60s. So they have, but they come to a place, maybe the kids have moved out. So we don't have so many young, like this typical, what can I say, this typical one-man show digital nomad. There is someone, so our clients are more, they want to spread a message that they have. Like you said also, what you work with, you help them, you just need to spread it to more people to reach a bigger audience. So it's kind of ambitious, and we don't have so much of this, we are more the kind of people who want to get up to maybe 200, 300, 400, 500,000 US dollar in salary or in revenue. We don't have this, we're just doing it for making a job or living from it. So it's more ambitious in that way. They want more income, or ambitious in that way. They have a message they want to get out to more people.
Mm-hmm. And how did you how did you find this profession? I mean, you're working as a consultant and you're guiding people and helping them reach a larger audience through online platforms. It sounds like it's like you have this specialty of consulting that's doing that. How did you find that? How did you get into that? That's really fascinating.
So I don't have any marketing or sales education. I've learned everything by myself. So I think it's more about I think it's more about a passion for me. I'm really into marketing, also sales. There's always something more I can learn when it comes to sales and marketing. So I'm really interested in that, and I also figure out that I have a gift that I can help others to be better in sales and marketing, because that's what we're doing. And as I said, there's like you say, you also are helping people, but I think there is so many out there who are a hidden secret sitting home, and they have a message that they should spread with the world. And I just get passion to help these people, because they can get out there. They just need to be more interested in sales and marketing. So we also try to teach this in an interesting way, like in a fun way. I think like sales and marketing is really fun. It's not like pushing a sales on something. There is helping people. Sales and marketing, when you sell something, you're helping. But go help people to go from that mindset that I don't want to be a pushy salesperson, I don't want to be aggressive, and seeing that there is ways to do this without being pushy and aggressive and get better results. And trying to reframe their brain to many that things like sales is not good to do and marketing is not too good to do. So see that there is a good thing with it. You can help the world to be a better world with doing sales and marketing.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I really love what you're doing. That is so cool. You know, I was looking at your Facebook page, and I love this too, man. I love your shirt. It says, "I'm not normal," and then I think you're in some kind of hot tub or something. What is that? Is that a hot tub?
It's not a hot tub, it's a cold tub.
Oh, it's a.
It's ice cubes inside it.
Oh man, so you are nuts. You are crazy.
Yeah.
That's great, man. So, well, that's terrific, Petter. I love what you're doing, man, and you definitely want to talk to you more about that, you know, because I think maybe you can help me with a few ideas and some things that I have that I'm working on. But tell me, I mean, overall, in your experience, and now you've been there for what you said, 4 years in Vietnam, about 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years.
So what do you like the most about living there?
The climate. Just can go to the beach, and I like now I can see the sea, like seeing the sea, and have the warm climate around me. Can go in a short all around the world or all around the year. I mean, and as I said, I also like the community. The great people are here. It's a nice little community with high quality people. I think that's the thing: food, climate, beach, and the quality of people. There's always someone we can have an interesting discussion with and talk with about things. And of course, before COVID hit, it was also kind of nice. We had 1 hour to fly to Bangkok. We had 2.5 to Singapore, like 2 hours to Hong Kong. I feel like we're in the middle, and Cambodia is just beside. We're like in the middle of Southeast Asia, and there's so many cool places to travel. Like Bali, we have been a couple of times. It's more than 2 hours, but it's still like not hard to travel to places that are beautiful in Asia. We also just like direct flight to Japan here, so it's like in the middle. So, but we have not traveled now for a couple of years because of what happened, but before that we also traveled a lot. So, but I think like the climate, the community, the beach, and also the silence in a way. I'm a city guy. I like to have a lot of things around me, but just living in a place where I will either live in a place like this and then, go from to another place.
Yeah, I'm going to zoom in on where you live. So here's the United States. You're all the way over here. You're right in this hub of just fantastic places. It's just a great spot to live in. You are. You're close to so many places that I want to just go hang out in South Asia, Malaysia, Indonesia. You got the Philippines here.
Yeah.
Cambodia, Thailand, Laos. Jeez. So we're coming in. So you are right here in Hoi An is right on the coast.
Yeah.
So it's right on the coast. What's the surfing like out there? It's got to be great.
Yeah, right now is the surfing season because now we have the rain season, so now there's some waves, but there is other places in Vietnam that is better for surfing than here. It's better in Da Nang. It's more surfing places in Da Nang than in Hoi An. It's just like 30 minutes to drive. So
yeah. Are there any other like hidden gems that you can recommend, like for people that would consider moving to Vietnam? Like there's so many towns here along the coast. I mean, it's a wonderful place to live just because there's so much beach. And plus, like you say, the food is fantastic. It's so healthy. It's so good for you. But here's Ho Chi Minh. Do they call it Ho Chi Minh? Do you guys call it Ho Chi Minh or do you call it Saigon?
We do both.
Both? Yeah. Yeah. So are there any places that are really hot areas and really nice, affordable, but really nice areas that people are moving to other than Hoi An?
Moving to, I think like Hoi An is one of the places where there is some international. It depends on if you don't have kids, there's many places. Nong, you see that a little bit down, like south from Hoi An. Nong, you see it a little bit there. Yeah, a little bit up again. One up there. That's a beautiful place.
Ooh, that does look nice.
And Nam Trang. Nam Trang is a really tourist city. If you see that a little bit more south.
Okay. Yeah.
There, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the first place we was in Mui Ne, but that's near Phan Thiet. It's more south. Phan Thiet.
Phan Thiet, yeah.
There is like the kiting surf. That's also one of our favorite places to go to or travel to when it's winter here. We go to Mui Ne, so that's a nice place. There's many places also north. I also, of course, maybe not to move to, but I love north of Vietnam. There's some beautiful nature there. So many places north is my favorite places to travel.
Yeah, and so you're saying pretty much throughout the country you can find apartments and flats for $150, $200.
Yeah, can do that
all over the place.
And maybe not in Hanoi and Saigon, the hottest places, but still we can find something there. But it's a little bit more expensive in Hanoi and Saigon.
In groceries for a person, if you do groceries per month, what for one person, what would that cost?
I think you can live depend on what you will eat, but if you eat Vietnamese food, I think you can live for like $200. Like if you just use Vietnamese food, if you want some Western, of course the price goes up. But
sure. So about $250, then you got another 200, and then utilities like electric, water, maybe another 100, would you say?
Yeah.
Okay. And then cell phone. So you're still looking at like $650 maybe. And then we haven't talked about like entertainment or anything like that. When you go out, you go see a show, movies, theater.
Yeah, I think like movies is like go to cinema is like maybe like $3 to $5.
Okay. Yeah, so it's really, I mean, you could probably easily get by even below $1,000 for people that want to find a destination where you can do that. It sounds like Vietnam would be the destination to probably easily live under $1,000 a month.
Yeah, can do that.
Yeah, and wow. Well, that's all I have, buddy. Is there anything else you want to share about Vietnam that we didn't touch on?
No, I think we have touched the most important things.
Well, Petter Eryk Nyvoll is an impressive guy. He's got a really awesome business going on. He's the CEO of Awesm, and we'll put all that information at the end of this podcast so people can find you, Petter. And I just wanted to thank you very much for taking the time to be here today on the podcast and sharing your experience and your journey and tips in and around Vietnam. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. It was really, thank you for being invited. It was a fun time. Thank you.
Thanks,
Great
buddy.
question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a terrific rest of the day. I'm going to go to bed soon.
Do that. Okay.
Okay. Cheers, buddy.
Have a good night. Okay, bye.
Bye.